Now, just a final recap, and just basically go back over the security. We've covered everything now, so you should be ready now to set up Zoom, from installing it, scheduling a meeting, running a meeting, changing any of the settings, sharing screens, creating breakout rooms or whatever. So we have covered everything now at this stage. And I just want to go back over the security considerations, because I think it's very important for people, and just to recap on it. Okay, so the first thing is that we always have to remember to secure the room. Okay, so secure the meeting. You may remember we locked the room, the door of the room, when we had all the participants in. So it's important to remember that. Okay. Make sure that you've got your waiting rooms on. As I said to you, it's coming standard now that that's a setting that's set on. So make sure they are. Don't switch off those waiting rooms. They're very important because it allows you time to monitor to see who's arriving for the meeting. Tick them off on your list. Is everybody who you think attending there? If there's people you're not sure of, you don't need to admit them. So just remember that. Make sure also that the setting is that the host arrives at the meeting first. And again, Zoom have changed this to a standard setting, but just to be sure yourself that you get in first, you're there, and you get yourself prepared before your meeting starts. If there's somebody, as we mentioned, who shouldn't be at the meeting, and you have let them in maybe by mistake, or they've been in and they're maybe causing a bit of trouble for you or whatever, well, remember, you are the host, you've got the power, you can expel them, you can throw them out of the meeting. So all you need to do, as we remember, is go to your participants list, click on the person, the name, the device, whatever they've logged in as, and press remove. And that exits them from the meeting and they won't get back in again, okay? Locking the door, as we keep saying, I can't stress that enough. And at the moment, make sure that you update to Zoom version 5. If you've only installed a new copy of Zoom in the last couple of days or whatever, you're fine. But if you're using an old version of Zoom on any of your laptops, PCs or devices, please update to version 5, because it's the most secure version that's around at the minute. Now, when I talk about Zoom, I also like to mention some of the other video conferencing packages that are out there as well, because maybe, you know, Zoom isn't for you and you want to use some of the other ones. So I just want to tell you what's out there at the moment. So at the minute we have the Cisco Webex, which is a very, very good program as well. It can, I think, take up to about 50 or 100 people too. It's very, very good. We have Skype. Lots of people used to use Skype, don't seem to use it anymore. Skype can take up to 50 people online. It has most of the functions of Zoom. It doesn't, I think, have a whiteboard, but other than that, it's more or less the same. You have Microsoft Teams, which is similar to Zoom. Probably doesn't have all the functionality that Zoom has, but there's lots of good bits and pieces with it as well. Then we have the smaller packages like Google Duo. Google Duo is basically, Google has a little version that will allow you to take on 8 people. So maybe you might just want to have a family quiz or something like that, and you want to have 8 people online, and you can share video with the 8 of them, and you can do quizzes or whatever it is. Then we've got House Party. I'm sure lots of you have heard about House Party as well. Again, it's 8 people can come on to a house party. Basically, if you can have a quiz online with House Party, make sure if you're using it that once the party starts or the quiz starts, you lock the room. Again, a bit like Zoom, because if you don't, people who are friends with some of the people who are in the room on the quiz with you can basically attend. They can just arrive into the quiz, okay? So just make sure, again, if it's a private quiz, that you lock the room. And then we have Uber Conference. That's another one. Again, it can take up to 40 or 50 people too, and it's quite good as well. And now we even have things like, I see Facebook now are setting up rooms, that you can set up rooms on your Facebook, and Gmail. Gmail now, if you go onto your Gmail online, you can now join a meeting there too. So, you know, most packages that are out there, everybody is starting to move to these online meeting rooms because they know it's the future really. So listen, I hope you all enjoyed the presentation, and happy Zooming. I hope you got something from it. And here's my email address. If anybody's got any problems or anything you're not sure about, just drop me a little email and I will come back to you. So many thanks. And as I said, I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you now. Bye-bye.